Tequila, I'm good. Vodka, I hate it. Schnapps, I'm okay. I'm good. Bourbon, I think I drink 1/3 of a bottle and I'm done.
I mean, all right.
Yeah, the one like that for me is vodka.
There we go.
I mean, vodka is just
I don't-
potato juice, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
just don't just don't just don't get me around Cold War Soviet airplane coolant.
That tank brake fluid, so probably not that much different. T-72 brake fluid.
Yeah.
1994 was a good year.
I'm surprised you remember it.
I sampled it. I didn't drink it.
He remembers it because he paid with jeans for hotel stays. So
Yeah. This was actually a training mission. It was the first time American and former Soviet troops in armor had trained together. So after the first day of introductions and everything else, of course, everything degenerated into drinking around a bonfire because that's just how shit works out.
Is that safe?
That's just what soldiers do.
Yeah. So Stash Poltitsky pulls out bottle, just unmarked bottle, and is like, "Hey, American, try this. What is it? It's brake fluid." What? Yeah, you're joking. No, it drained from tank, filter through bread. It's good. Hey, man. What do you have? Try Jack Daniels. It's actually made to some sort of standard. They love that shit. They love American whiskey. If they don't go flying drinking it.
Mm-hmm. And you're not in danger of spontaneously combusting if you piss into a fire. So,
well, their fun was when we weren't paying attention. They would take a swig and they would spit it into the fire. Fuck. So we went and got some packets of non-dairy creamer from our MREs, which if you sprinkle them, they go up like flash powder. Remember the next time you put that in your coffee. So when they weren't looking, we'd fling a packet of that over the fire, and it would flare up, and they'd jump. "Oh, son of a bitch!"
Son of a bitch.
Son of a beach. That was one of their favorite phrases. Son of a beach.
So Metro.
Oh, Weezy.
Ah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, if you're going to get a dash cam, make sure you get one that has a camera front and back.
Yeah, no, that's what I was looking at. Yeah. Fucking crazy. Like, I looked at it, and I thought, because I did it right after I woke up, so I was like, well, maybe I'm, like, half asleep or something. And I was looking at my light, and I was like, well, it's turning yellow, which means that her light was definitely red when this bitch decided to haul ass in front of me.
Yeah, but definitely make sure it's got a front and back. So
she just looks at me and she's like,
"Was it Jasmine Crockett?"
It looked like it.
It was. That's who it was. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Jasmine Crockett in a shower cap. I was like, this bitch.
That's a porn movie. I don't think I ever want to see.
Almost took me out at 11 o'clock in the morning. Metro, where'd you get that picture from?
Oh, it's from Hood God. He posted it as an own.
What picture is this?
I'll show you as soon as I figure out how I'm gonna fucking.
Oh, come on! Why did you cover up? Why did you? I was gonna come to congratulate you on idolizing a cool bunch of guys, Army tankers.
Oh.
Every time I see that Fury picture, I'm like, Wheezy needs a hero. I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt. That's my hero.
No. Tankers. Best job I ever had.
Happy? There. Now you can see half of Brad Pitt.
Best job I ever had.
Best job I ever had.
It really was.
I mean, you are paid to blow up shit, so
Right?
Best job Metro ever had.
We were
best
like
job,
demolition
best job I
engineers.
never had.
We were like demolition engineers, just less training and discipline.
Percentage.
And brain cells.
Maybe.
I don't know. I met a couple.
Okay,
of
easy.
idiots.
What do you want to do?
No, I was looking for that picture. And of course, the fucking Palestine flag waving retard is the one that posted it.
It's
There you go.
it's
See that?
it's in your Discord. You don't
No, I
need
know.
to.
No, I know, but I wanted to find the original because I want to see the context of this.
The context of this is plain and simple.
Oh, is this the mistake
one
number
chance.
3 thing?
Yes. Where did they even get that from?
Piss off some huge internet influence range.
And I
Also,
get,
is-
At least
if
they
you-
admit it.
if
At
you-
least they're
if you-
admitting it.
If you have that monitor in your background, put that screen cap on it.
why?
So or one. Yes, one viewer knows what the fuck we are talking about.
Oh, I
Where
had
was
it.
the
I had it up
context
on
where this
screen.
Came up. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I had it up for a solid minute.
What was the context that this was brought up? I mean,
Metro said it was
where and what they were
Adepticon.
doing. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I presume it was a Adepticon's seminar. Because he posted it now as an own. That what did that bitch say?
My
Yeah,
personal
he
favorite.
said they don't-
Ping me.
He said they don't give a fuck about you. That's what the post was.
Okay,
Oh yes.
that's fine.
Oh yes.
But I don't.
Well, if they don't give a fuck about me, then why were they so fucking afraid of us, of me?
My personal favorite was the person that put, well, they raised $5 million. What do you think of that, Chud? I said, do you think that's a lot in a business? $5 million probably isn't 1 year of operations for them. I guarantee they voted themselves some ridiculous pay raises.
Oh, I guarantee it. Absolutely.
I said, $5 million. I said, that's what my one team of 5 sales guys in one division of the company I work for, that's our minimum. It's $5 million this year. That's minimum. And that's profit.
Yeah.
I said, what they got wasn't profit. That was gross. They had to pay taxes out from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I says, if you want to know, you want to bitch about taxes, pay taxes as a small business.
And also, don't forget, they have to pay artists. They brought in big names like Jervis Johnson, Graham McNeil. They have to pay designers. They have to pay their manufacturing. They had to pay the printing of the fucking books of the Kickstarter. They are bleeding fucking money and they have no revenue income.
That $5 million
They are
is
not-
gone.
They are now talking about setting up pre-orders for 3D printed minis.
I thought part of their Kickstarter was they just gave people the STL files. They didn't even bother to print them.
Yes. Yes. So they went and spent that 5 million to fulfill the Kickstarter, but the Kickstarter hasn't been fulfilled because they added extra goals, extra books that they haven't written yet. There is no art yet. There is no layout. There is no printing.
we got a
There
map.
is no.
Shitty. Oh God, Metro and I were having way too much fun tearing that map apart, man.
Yes, a fucking map that a child scribbled on.
But I mean, it's
They-
like, oh yeah,
they-
let's open a portal in some of the most harsh terrain in southern, southeastern Europe, the Dardanelles. Go take if you've never seen them. I've seen them. I know Metro has. Go look at a picture. Just put in Dardanelles and hit picture and tell me if this is where you'd want to set up a base of operations. It's a fucking nightmare. Looks like the fucking Alps.
You can ask the Anzacs how it went down in 1718.
Yeah, or what was the other one? Hey, I know. Why don't you set up a base in Gallipoli? That'll work great. What could go wrong, right?
But I feel like, okay, this is gonna bleed into something else. I feel like, and I'm gonna say leftists because it is fucking leftists. It's not people on the right saying this shit. It's people on the left. 10 out of 10 times. That when they're, gloating about these numbers, right? And we saw them doing it with Assassin's Creed 2. Where it's like, oh, 2 million 2 million players. Sorry, 3 million players. They do this fucking weird sort of coping mechanism with numbers that, as that number goes slightly higher, then it's a win, right? When they're not looking at the overall picture, they're just looking at these numbers that these companies are putting out going, see, look at this. And then they just take it at face value and go, oh, they're doing amazing.
But, I mean, Steam never bore 1/10 of that number.
I mean, Steam never break 50,000.
That's what I mean.
No, they broke the 50,000 mark. They couldn't break 65. They couldn't break 65,000. They said it's 64 something.
I think it was Jim who, Mr. Metago, put out a tweet that the spin cycle is the game is a success. Millions of players. Okay, not so millions of players, but the game is still a success. The game is is not a success, but it's still okay. Ubisoft is shutting down. Ubisoft is sold.
Well, same
and
thing.
What did we hear the last time? Ubisoft spun out all of its Assassin's Creed assets into a subsidiary company owned in 25% by Tencent.
Well, they did the same
so
thing.
It's a big fucking success.
With the actual copies in Japan. In Japan, it was only 17,000 physical copies sold. In a country of millions. 17,000.
On a game set in their country.
And it's like, oh, but that's a win. No, that's bad. Those are shitty numbers.
I wonder how many copies of Ghost of Tsushima sold there.
I gotta look it up. I guarantee it was more.
17,000.
Okay, so everything I'm saying is they hit over 1 million on Ghost of Tsushima.
In Japan.
In one country.
In one country, yes.
I still need to buy that game. And I know, Weezy, you just rant and rave about it, which is why I keep telling myself I need to fucking buy it.
Oh, it's fantastic. That, and I know Rise of the Ronin didn't get very much hype, but that's a good game too.
Well, if I ever catch it on sale, because I'm not paying full price anymore for games. I've gotten burned one too many times on that one.
Yeah, it's worth the money. And I don't say that lightly, and I'm also not saying that because I'm a fucking Japanophile or whatever the fuck they're calling people now.
You're a weeb.
It's a legitimately good game. Like, it didn't get a lot of hype, but it plays like an easy version of fucking Sekiro. It's pretty good.
I watched your video. You're saying I'm a weeb or whatever the fuck they call me these days. It's like, weeb.
Yeah. And
weeb, okay.
Funnily enough, the guy in Japan that I interviewed, Tomoe, he was live last night talking to a bunch of people in Japan, and I popped in there because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and I was getting ready for bed. And he was like, oh, we were just talking about you 20 minutes ago. I was like,
oh.
Me? What did I do? But
Weezy's entering international politics.
Was anybody screaming bonsai while you were talking about me?
No, I was screaming that last night playing Bloodborne, though. But yeah.
Shit, fuck, and running away like screaming like a little girl.
I was screaming that too. Fucking Cornelius was in my chat last night trying to help me, and I was just like, bro, you speak English! What the fuck are you saying? Because he's like, oh,
motherfucker.
he's like, oh, you need to backstab, dodge roll, blah 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 blah. I was like, okay. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things. Sorry, I need a light. It's way too fucking dark in here.
Racist.
But it's one of those things where, like, you know, they were coping so hard and being like, oh, people in Japan love it. No, they don't. And half the ones that are talking about it now didn't even know it was a thing. And Tomoe flat out said that. He's like, yeah, nobody fucking knew. The Shrine Associations knew because people like him were making a big deal about it, going, hey, they're fucking our shit up.
I was going around with somebody online about that shrine thing, and they're like, "Oh, but you could destroy a Christian church in you know the Viking Assassin's Creed." I said, "Well, hold on. There's a big difference between a wooden church that may or may not have existed 1,000 years ago and a fucking shrine you can still go to today."
Multiple.
You know, I said that's the difference. Those shrines are still standing. They are still an integral part of the Japanese religion. Okay? Can you not understand the difference between maybe vague wooden building that may or may not existed and actual fucking place?
I thought you were busy. What are you doing here?
Oh, hey, Marzena.
Nope. She bailed.
I'll wait to make the joke when she gets back in here.
She didn't come back. She'll come back. I hope I didn't scare her away. I may have. I was just kidding. Come back. But yeah, same thing. Same thing with
now we get an essay.
a what?
Now we get an essay why she won't come back.
No, I guess. I mean, I scared her. The same thing with the tombs that you can rob in the game. Again, those are also real places, like that contain the royal family.
Don't forget the royal family. You can fuck also.
Yeah,
Well, and
ancestor.
again, I know they don't necessarily see the emperor and his family as gods, but fucking close enough. I just, it's like, it would be like Assassin's Creed Middle East. Hey, isn't that the tomb of Jesus? We're raiding that. Whoa, wait, what?
Hey, isn't that Prophet Muhammad? Let's stop this child wedding.
No, that's not going to happen ever.
No.
But you know, there's that double standard, and especially it boggles my mind that the side of cultural appreciation and acceptance and tolerance and all this shit, all that goes out the window when it's something that they want, right?
Just like I put in your video, the comment on your video, they hate Asians. Simple as.
Oh, I know. I know.
Hate Asians.
Asians are white adjacent. Word for word what they say.
Marzana got something called RTC disconnected. She thought you disconnected her. No. I said, no, get your ass in here.
What the fuck what's a RTC disconnect?
Ask the IT guy.
Oh, it's a network error. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I was just kidding. I didn't boot you.
Well,
Hi.
she was helping her husband with his wood.
Oh yes, lots of wood.
I can literally show the screenshot of that. Sorry, helping my husband with his wood.
Just the screenshot,
We're gonna joke.
not the back shot.
But yeah, you know, it's funny that now, I think even the member of Japanese government that I covered last night at 2:00 in the morning, I think he's the main one that's sort of doing this push to kind of hold Ubisoft accountable, because apparently the Shrine Associations did contact Ubisoft multiple times, and there was just crickets. Like, they basically just told them to fuck off. We don't care.
Yeah. Don't you understand? We have George Floyd this game. We don't need you.
And surprisingly, it was Eric July that came out and was like, yeah, they did this to check a box, period. Like, they picked the one black guy in Japanese history that, you know, all mentions amounts to 2 lines in a historical text.
Well, I mean, they could have put a more recent black guy in, and that has a lot more information about him.
Johnny Smalley.
Johnny Somali. His ass. Speaking of, he done fucked around and found out.
Oh, he's going to jail.
One of his charges will mark him as a sexual predator.
Yep.
The other one, yeah, the other one will literally is considered a violent sex crime. The one where he did the deep fake of the Japanese streamer girl.
Yep.
That's considered a potential violent sex crime in Korea.
And fun fact, French kissing is if consuming content with French kissing is considered sexual content in Korea.
Yep.
Couldn't have happened to a bigger piece of shit. Well, actually, there are some bigger pieces of shit, but none of them are dumb enough to do that.
Hey, Hassan, why don't you go to Korea, man?
Oh, because he's a fucking piece of shit, but he's smart enough to realize they would crucify him.
But I mean, I hope he goes to jail. If anything, to discourage all these fucking nuisance streamers that are showing up just to dick around. Now you've got Ice Poseidon and Xena and Darius and all of the fucking low lifes on the internet. You know, some of the most clout chasing people you can get just running around over there running amok.
Well, aren't there entire towns or at least areas that are saying no, basically no white people allowed?
No tourists.
No tourists.
Not just no whites, no tourists, because that one group of Koreans who like pissed on a shrine or something like that. Hell,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Japanese go back full Age of Isolation after what Assassin's Creed Shadows did.
Yeah, it was.
Which is a shame. I love visiting there, man. It was so cool.
It was actually assault. They assaulted the shrine manager.
Oh, that is what I'd only heard about them pissing on a shrine. I didn't realize there was also an assault.
Well, that was like a recurring problem, but the major incident that they were talking about was because somebody was assaulted.
Gotcha.
That's the problem with Japan. Very strict gun laws.
I mean, to be fair, you can understand why they're really strict when you have a bunch of freaking foreign bastards from countries where they don't get spanked enough showing up and doing completely disrespectful things.
Sounds like the UK.
Yeah, but the UK doesn't arrest people except if you wave the English flag at a protest.
Well, unless you're white. Remember, they now have a 2-tier system. Official.
Yes. 2-tier Cures nickname is no longer hyperbolic. It's literal.
Yeah. So.
Also,
don't forget with the barely functioning army, they are going to send troops between Russia and Ukraine.
Don't get me started on that one. You're gonna hear the 20-minute fucking incoherent rant, man. You take me down that path. Watching these people online go, that's fine. We don't need the U.S. Okay. No, really, we don't. We don't want you. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. No U.S. Great. Awesome.
I mean, the latest achievement of the British Army was taking back the Falklands Islands, and it was only possible because the US was there to give them a lift and reach under them and push them forward in the right direction. Because the British Army and the British Armed Forces are not what they were in the 50s and the 60s. And not what they were in the 80s. They are 5 drunk Englishmen reminiscing about the good old days while, sorry to say this, but while the Browns rape their women and take away their property.
They can't even put a fully equipped armor battalion in the field.
Nope.
I'm sorry, but everything that you guys just said just reminded me of this very important part of history that came out, and I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I'm driving, so I'll need someone to read it.
Oh my God!
Let's see something decent and military.
Oh,
Precision drilling.
Oh no!
Camp it up!
Wait, what is
It's Monty Python. You're gonna pull over or you're gonna crash.
No, I just had seat at the wheel.
What the f-
And this was 50 years ago.
Where was it posted?
Yeah,
Oh, Monty Python.
That's fucking diabolical.
you're gonna know this one, Rosanna.
Oh yeah, that's been one of my favorite ones for years.
I always thought that was just Navy drill and ceremony, but
I mean, that will always be funny to me.
Even though it's become a documentary.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking tears in my eyes.
stop that.
Well, that's how yeah.
I mean, listen, smoking a fag in British and in American English has completely different meanings.
Fucking demonetized. Here we go.
Hey, he waited 7 minutes. He waited at least 7 minutes. Give him some
I waited
fucking credit.
28 minutes.
Put some fucking respect on it.
I used that term on a Twitch stream, and the person that owned this channel almost killed me.
Bro,
And he's,
that was like the
yeah.
that was like the shit with Counterpoints and Rob Noor when they were debating. And both of them were like simultaneously streaming each other across YouTube and Twitch. And fucking Connor kept saying the British cigarette slur like non-stop. And then they both got nuked on Twitch.
That's
Bundle of sticks.
fucking based. That's
And
fucking
I was like, I wonder if he did that on
Are
purpose.
you streaming? Are you streaming on Twitch?
Fuck no. I hate Twitch.
And what the fuck is the problem, bitch?
Because YouTube also doesn't like it when you say faggot.
But I didn't say faggot, I said fag.
In the
The only
context
way-
of British cigarettes.
Yes.
YouTube.
The only way Wheezy could stream on Twitch is if he was in a hot tub, which
Yeah.
nobody wants to see that.
You don't know that.
Well, again, speaking of Hassan, he might want to. You never know. If you're wearing a maid outfit.
Fuck. Don't remind me of that pic. I don't know what it is, but seeing a grown man dressed up like a woman just fucking is just vulgar. I don't like it. It's disgusting.
He was
All right,
dressed.
we're okay.
Hey! He was dressed as a maid
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
a,
cat-
a woman's maid outfit.
with cat ears.
Yes.
All right,
I
we're all going to
recall
pitch
it
in
ever
and
since.
we're going to
and
send
you're a
shit
furry
to
who is-
San Francisco.
Shadow, and you're a furry who is genociding ponies on stream, so...
Damn it, Metro.
Ow! Fucking bastard.
Is it the white cat?
Yes. This
Just
guy.
scream honky.
No, cracker.
Cracker.
Are you done?
Crack a cat.
Are you done being a baby?
No.
No, keep me there.
It's
Daddy.
like my giant black cat. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And suddenly he'll stiffen up and he'll be like, put me down now or I'll claw you to death. I'm like, what? What?
He
Is
likes
that
it.
your Norwegian forest cat?
Yeah, he's the size of a Norwegian forest.
He likes being thrown across the room onto the couch. I shit you not. He will run up to me for me to toss him onto the couch, and then he'll run back for more, and then I'll toss him again, then he runs back again.
But does he say, don't tell the elf?
No. Oh, he's weird.
Sorry,
He's a weird cat.
So out of random curiosity, kind of deviating the conversation, have you guys already ditched jihaded out, or have we just...
Kinda.
Oh no.
But you can say what you need to say. I mean, it's not gonna be anything new, you know.
No, I was just curious.
I had another topic. Like I said, I want to gloat a little bit about Grand Wizards of the Coast anyway. So if you want to do Ditch Jihad first.
No, I don't mind. I was just
I mean,
curious. If that already got
let's
talked
start with Grand Wizards of the Coast, and
Okay.
then go to the Jihad, because I'm drinking, so...
He's gonna be passed out by the time we get to the ditch jihad part.
No, I will be pissed off.
So Grand Wizards, for those that have or have not been paying attention, was going to do a 3-dimensional tabletop. And for those of you that remember one of our first broadcasts, I brought up conspiracy theories. Mine was that GW would eventually do a 3-dimensional tabletop world where you would buy your armies digitally. So one of my theories is GW has been watching what's been going on very carefully. Well, the system has completely, utterly imploded. Now, don't get me wrong, the promo videos looked amazing. It literally they had the characters from Baldur's Gate 3 minus the bear. Calm down, Metro. And that literally you could move them around. Your spell effects were fully fleshed out. You cast a fireball, man, a fireball came out of your hands, 3D, exploded in 3D. Turns out that wasn't actually the footage from the game. That was just shit they had made up. Now, the rumor is that Hasbro plunked down somewhere on the order of $1 billion to Wizards to create this next generation.
Because it's fucking loud.
Yeah, I had to mute Shadow because it was like.
Sorry about that.
So basically,
What, you have the window down?
No, I don't. Windows are down. AC's not down. I couldn't tell you.
They supposedly the rumor is they plunked down $1 billion to Wizards to develop this system because Hasbro was under the assumption that it could be monetized for everything and micro monetized. Oh, you just learned Fireball? Well, for $1.99, you can have that spell and its effect. Oh, want to go invisible? You're going to have to buy the invisibility spell. They also wanted it monetized for My Little Pony, Transformers. They wanted to turn everything into a tabletop game. And Grand Wizards was like, what? What? You want a game? What? Yeah, this has to be super monetized because we want a full... Well, no, we were just going to say it. If you have a subscription, you get to use the 3D system. Yeah, but they all every player has to have a subscription. Every player has to buy the system. Every player has to buy the books. No more sharing.
So every player has to buy the $1 upgrade for the Fireball to see the effects.
Yes. Super micro monetized. Well, last week, the 3D system, which is called Sigil, laid off 90% of its people.
That's fucking hilarious.
Before the coat monster says, before somebody comes in later and says, it was done, it wasn't even close to being done. It wasn't even in alpha phase testing. I'm on a list to test for Grand Wizards. I didn't even see a hint at alpha phase, much less anything higher.
What happened, Weezy? Why did you faceplant so hard?
Hold on. I'll put it in here for when you decide to get around to it. Because now that picture is starting to make the rounds. The we kicked out the bad people.
Notice how they didn't specify the kinds of people they kicked out. This isn't my own thought. I think it was Shark who mentioned this, or maybe it was and now I feel like it may have actually been someone in this call. My bad if I'm saying Shark did it and it was you. But pretty sure it was Shark who said that they didn't specify the kind of people they kicked out.
Yeah, it was.
They kicked out bad actors.
Yeah.
Okay,
Extremists. Buzzword. They used a buzzword. Extremists.
Yeah. Okay. So when you ask around, okay, well, what kind of people did they kick out? You know, there's this guy Helis, right? And he did something unabominable. What did he do? He was theory crafting about how Mesoamerica would fit in. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wait, what did he say? Was it racist? Oh, yeah. He said that the people who sacrificed humans to thirsting gods might have worked with the demons.
Oh my
Why
God,
is that
how
a lead?
insensitive.
You
Why
do
is
that
a
voice entirely too well.
He really does. He really does.
but get this. French Crusade, they made their map Euro fucking centric, guys. I can't even. There's no Mesoamerica. There's no Africa. There's no India. They didn't. They only thought about the Europeans.
Well, there's North Africa's there. North Africa, best Africa.
Well, to be fair, North Africa is literally just an extension of Mediterranean, European, or African or Arabian civilization, depending on the year it's been. It is so. I wouldn't really call that Africa personally.
But yeah, well,
No.
and then there were other people trying to cope by saying, well, the guy that said that, which was what was the
Hewlett.
idiot? Yeah, he doesn't really speak for all of us. He's just an outlier. He isn't really a major part of the system. And I'm like, oh, that's funny because he certainly thinks he is.
Oh wait, no, sorry, no.
Oh, you
Hewlett
mean
was
the
guy-
Colombian tranny?
My bad. Hewlett was the guy who was taught like theory crafting. He wasn't a part of the.
Yeah, no, this was whoever it was that first brought up that it was. I was gonna say-
Eurocentric.
Yeah, I was going to say it was.
That
even
was the
worse
Colombian
than it was.
tranny, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Metro, you have to give me a heads up when you start ranting.
I will give you. It's not ranting. I'm just warming up.
So can you warm me when you're warmed up?
Oh yes, I will.
Okay, good.
Well,
I need to be ready.
He was talking about a car part, not.
No, I'm talking transmission, automatic or manual.
he's
The
got.
manual.
The famous Colombian manual transmission.
Yeah, no. Combat's probably got some WWE music ready for when you go like, all right, I'm about to start my rant.
No, I have
Yeah,
some.
like,
I have something better. I have something better.
No, it's a foghorn, and it's a foghorn, and it's going to bleep out everything I say.
No.
No. So it's only gonna bleep out the swears.
It's gonna be quacking.
I need somebody to give me that fucking soundbite of whatchamacallit, saying repent. Asmodeus.
Yeah, I can do that for you. Give me a second.
I need to add
Forgot
that
she
one.
was here.
Sorry,
Oh my god!
I do-
Somebody let a girl in. Oh my god! This is so gross.
Yeah,
But you
don't
gotta
let
have-
that.
You gotta have
Don't
your
let Reg-
diversity higher here.
Don't let Rajku say find you, or they're going to call you every name in the books ever
Yeah,
again.
diversity hire, little white girl. Yeah, you're so diverse.
Wait, I thought Combat was the diversity hire because he's like, the one person here who isn't fully.
Asmodai, not Asmodeus. I almost got him
But he-
confused with Asmogon.
I know what you're talking about. And
Rocky
he's
Amadeus,
just
yes.
Mayo.
God damn it. But that's not what I'm doing. That's just a side note. I do need that. I've been thinking about adding it, and every time I think to do it, I forget.
Gotcha.
I think you should add the full Rogodorn's Colossal Chain Blade. Oh, the whole minute-long one. And then you charge people to play it.
Just like Grand Wizard of the Coast. Just like Grand Wizards of the Coast.
Yes.
What's really funny
I mean-
about that business practice?
I'm gonna start giving my-
We're gonna nickel and dime. We're gonna nickel and dime everyone of everything. This is the year of the internet, my dudes. You have free alternatives like Roll20, or hell, if you ban Roll20, you can fucking use PowerPoint. It's not convenient, but you can use fucking PowerPoint to play D&D.
Do you remember when they were going to all the old rule sets, the 2014 5th edition rules, they were going to remove them? Despite
Yeah, no, I
people
remember.
having bought the entire lost and the entire internet just lost their collective shit on Grand
I mean-
Wizards.
Yeah, or when they
I mean,
said,
what-
hey, if you signed our ODL thing, we are legally allowed to just take your product without paying for it. And people lost their fucking minds. It still went back and continued making content for D&D 5e.
What were you saying, Metro?
I mean, what these people forget, and what the younger generation forget, is that how shall I put it? The backend is more accessible than the front end with these programs, because these microtransactions, these things behind paywalls, have to be there in order to unlock it. They have to be local files.
So you're more of a back end than a front end kind of guy? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm more of a guy that learned the hard way through accessing the DOS and the operating system of various computers and various computer programs. How can I break the computer program so I can play it for free instead of paying for it?
He's completely ignoring me, which is probably the best.
That feels very
And-
Eastern European for some reason.
And the new generation of computer users are. Yes, I'm ignoring you. See that because I'm in rant and I'm slightly drunk.
Oh, okay. Get it ready. Get it ready. Wheezy.
Because the new generation of users are computer illiterate. They can
Oh, that's
use
true.
the
That's very true.
they can use the forward-facing aspect of the program, but they have no fucking idea what to do with the backend. Meanwhile, 30 to 40-year-olds have the idea, have the knowledge how to go into the system, how to config various system files to make the bitch work. And it doesn't cost any money. It just costs time to look up and to, well, effectively remember how you did it 10 to 15 years ago.
Can you imagine 20-somethings given a DOS prompt?
I mean,
Just
I
the DOS
imagine them dying to do that, but
Yeah.
But listen, this is a skill that doesn't go away, and torrenting went away because it was more convenient to pay for shit. When it becomes that everybody nickels and dimes the customer,
Sorry.
it's going to come back with a fucking vengeance, and every AAA piece of shit developer are going to cry bloody tears while the internet breaks and rapes their ass with a dildo made out of glass and chili peppers.
Are you Metro, are you watching the video? Are you watching Wheezy?
Yes, I'm watching Wheezy.
Okay, so you saw him doing the basically. He was doing the American Sign Language for your rant.
I fucking love that.
That I haven't seen.
When you said the glass dildo, he was basically doing the sign language equivalent of.
But
But-
to go along with Metro's point about how when you nickel and dime everyone, that's how you fucking know these people, whether it's Brand Wizards, whether it's GW, whether it's whatever the company for Trench Crusaders, Ditch Jihad. So I gotta remember to reverse.
Yeah, it was
dead
your line originally. So
Yeah, I gotta keep remembering to reverse dead name those fuckers. Like we live on the edge of the internet. Like Metro said, if it gets to the point where it's more convenient to just go sail the 7 seas or to change a 1 into a 0 in a fucking folder, people are gonna do that. Look at Shark. Look at his 3 terabytes now of STLs. A lot of that is just blatant GW or Trench Crusade shit. Like these people are actively pissing off their consumer base, thinking, oh, well, we said it's bad to steal, so they won't steal from us, while we actively anally rape them and take their fucking money.
Shadow, I have 547 GW novels. How many do you think I paid for?
Probably
Fuck all.
Maybe 10. Maybe 10.
Oh, I apologize
Right there
for
with
assuming
you.
you were a worse person than you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, Marzana and I swap. Hey, this one just came out. Do you want this one? we swap links all the time for shit like that. Fuck them.
Exactly, especially after the female custodies thing. You know how I feel about that.
You love it.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I obviously love it.
She's not denying it.
She's being a pick me. She's being a pick. Her favorite. Oh yeah. I'm gonna get kicked in the ass for that.
Well,
She did not
Remember-
deny it, though.
No,
I mean,
she didn't.
genocidal gnome is waiting for you around the corner. See that?
What you mean? The drunken gnome dancing on the bar top? Yeah, I know all about that gnome.
Well, I mean,
would
it's
take that gnome or-
it's
I would
head height
take that
for
gnome over that
balls
gnome.
deep.
Sorry.
It's head height for going for the balls. So watch out.
Then I do have one of those gnomes in my D&D game. Traumatizing gnome.
Yeah, but she doesn't dance. She just wears the face.
She's just a murder hobo.
Yes.
Oh,
very much.
ironic. I see you tuned into last week's stream, Metro. You described exactly what the last 30 minutes were.
I mean, it's not hard to describe any D&D party that has been going on for a little longer than a while, that some of them are going to murder hobo.
Yes.
There are always cures for murder hobos.
There was a cure for a motor hobo, but it got targeted at one of the few people who kind of sort of role plays.
Okay,
Instead.
so here's the deal with that. I told you it's specifically goblins, and I told the
I'm
players.
aware.
I said out of character, hey, you guys should tie her up because she hates goblins and you know she's gonna go crazy. So
Yes,
what's he
and you
do?
decided to...
He teaches a crowd with goblin children.
Let me guess.
Unintended.
What full salamander, right?
Be entirely fair, those minors were unattended, so they were kind of asking for what they did.
Total goblin death. Fuck yes.
Exactly.
And kobolds, and Norkers, and Koatoa,
Wait, they killed North Koreans?
and Gry. It was a town of little people. It was a town of short races, banding together to fight the big races.
God, I
And
figured
when
they'd vote Marzana their queen.
Well, no, see, Marzana went in and just started beating goblin children to death, which started a riot. And it ended just as well as you could have expected.
Oh, yeah.
So the party murder hoboed the whole town. Wonderful.
Yeah, I should have seen where this was going and fighting a Night Lord simp. But, c'est la vie.
I made it very clear that if they were going to take her into that town, she needed to be tied up.
I know. I'm fully aware that this group of players don't exactly think long term. I'm aware.
I love how that is. Oh, please tie me up. No, please tie me up before you take me into the town.
Provides the rope and gag to the party. Please use this. Doesn't. Refuses. Denies it.
I mean, it would be an ideal sized on a hole, but...
Holy shit, I got suspended. Wait, what?
On Twitter?
Oh, I'm sorry, that was my old account. I was like, holy shit, did I just get nuked again?
Yeah, fuck. I would have been amazed. You lasted, I think
Nuking absentia.
you would have had that account for less time than I did between my second and third account.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't know what my old my old CDAT account got nuked for.
See,
I've
know
asked
exactly
them
what I
3
lost my previous
times.
accounts for.
Well, I asked them 3 times for what was it, and they just send back the same, cut and paste email. Like, oh, okay.
I know exactly what my Dr. Dugong account got nuked for.
I'm honestly not. Other than I think I got mass report, I managed to piss off somebody. It would have been about a year ago, so it would have
So
been
it was
something.
Elon.
It was something 40K related. Yeah.
So it was Elon. While he was
was.
power leveling his character in Space Marine.
I went
Or he
off
was-
on that puppy play, Colonel.
Well, yeah, but that was
What
earned.
the fuck?
Oh, you didn't see that? Yeah.
Maybe I just blocked it.
Some full colonel wearing a fucking furry
Oh,
mask.
that fucker. That
Yeah,
fucker.
yeah.
That with the leather Doberman mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went off on him with like one of my first accounts and just got completely nuked.
Why wasn't that shit heel drummed out with a dishonorable discharge?
Because it was under Biden.
I was gonna say, I've been talking shit about Jasmine Crockett for like months.
I love how nobody calls out her ghetto accent.
Her
is
fake,
not her
fake ghetto accent.
Yeah. I've seen videos of her speaking. She's got a better education than probably just about this entire chat.
And her constituents.
Yeah, that's not saying much.
Shadow, you are
Jesus,
busy.
what are you? Holy hell!
He's going through a tunnel.
No, I'm
On a
not. I don't even
motorcycle?
know what it is. The only thing I can think of is the roads
Shadow-
being so shit that I start bouncing. That's all it could be.
Well, you are in Texas, right?
It sounds like you're. It sounds like you're trying to suck start a leaf blower.
Hey! Don't hobby shame him.
No, like windows are down, AC is low. Only thing has got to be the yeah. No, it's the roads being.
Meanwhile, Octavius is like, "Are you really?" There?
I mean, windows are down, and and we have wind noise.
I mean, windows are closed.
Oh, he's trying to cover his ass now.
Yeah,
Hey man, don't cover your ass just because I've arrived.
Yeah.
Well, no, I figured you popped in just as you heard that he starts a leaf blower. You pop in, going, "Really?" I showed up at the right
Comes
time.
in whites. Octavius only comes in white, so
Octavius showed up going.
I do understand.
Octavius shows up making leaf blower noises. Killy comes
Yeah,
in.
if the background noise
Sorry.
is being that big of a distraction, I should probably hop out. Also, my internet's getting a little bit spotty, so it's probably for the best. Yeah, have a good one, guys.
All right, easy.
Okay, bye.
I'm waving.
He wanted us to talk him out of it.
I mean, I waved bye.
I mean, I hope he didn't leave on my account.
Oh no. He's I don't know. Apparently on the worst fucking road in the state of Texas, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, he's driving.
And he's
is it
basically
saying
getting
a lot,
road
though?
noise.
I mean, your roads aren't that great.
Oh no, yeah,
Oh, Texas roads are awful.
yeah, they really are.
Well,
Even
you know,
Houston
if-
Wheezy.
If American Truck Simulator is anything to go by, yes, they are.
They're worse than Florida roads, and I swear to God, they work on our roads 24/7. They should be
Oh,
flawless.
you guys
Well, I
have
mean-
no idea.
Oh,
You
we
guys
know
need to
you-
come to my state.
I mean,
Oh, we know up in your part of the world because of salt and snow and everything else, but
Well, I mean, they can't
Plus,
be any
you
worse
know,
than our
mountain-
roads. I mean, our roads are either built on literal swamp or, you know, they're like in the
Florida.
hills, in like the Himalayan hills, you know?
So what? One lane and the stronger takes the lead.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's West Virginia. It's 1.5 lane roads, and if they're bigger, get out of the way.
There's
I
this,
hope you have big fucking trucks over there.
Well, I would say the coal trucks, but that's not as much of a thing as it used to be. But
Oh, our trucks are much bigger than yours. Much bigger. I mean, we run on average 9 axles to begin with.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. Yep. 4-axle truck with a 5-axle backpack.
oh, okay, yeah. What they used to call that, mother dog and pups.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, the other
What
option
the
is
fuck?
3-axle semi with a 6-axle B train. I assume you know what a B train is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're looking at 8-axle B trains over here now as well, which is really fucking, you know, that's full on.
How do you turn around with that fucker?
Very slowly.
you don't.
You
Like-
don't.
like a battle. But that's the point, though, right? The B train is it's like the axles are all down to weight, right? The more axles you have, the more weight you can carry because it's spread out over more. So we're looking at probably close to about 22, 23 meters long. I have no idea what that is in freedom units. I'm sorry, you'll have to. Look that up.
About 70 feet.
1 meter is pretty much exactly 3 feet 3 inches.
Okay.
So yeah, you're looking at close to 70 feet long.
Yeah, that'd be about right. So we've got a 4-axle semi, right? So dual drives, dual steers. and
4-axle semi sounds like a Saturday night.
then- It is at my house.
As long as it's in white, right?
Well, hey man, I'm not down on brown. What can I say?
Well, I'm out.
Wheezy's safe.
I'm good.
Oh wait, and they said Slavs aren't white, so
Asians too. Well, no, technically Asians are white. by that logic.
Asians are white. Yeah.
What the? God damn it!
So what are y'all talking about?
Ditch jihad.
Ditch jihad sucks. Leftists suck.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What?
That's 2 fucking 737s. Jesus fuck.
Oh, Metro's still looking at the truck.
Yes.
Well, remember, much like parts of the American West, Australia has like miles and miles of straight road with fuck all around it. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's a fucking dreamliner. It's a fucking dreamliner on rolling on the road and and hauling gas.
Oh yeah, probably doing 110, 120K. Just busting ass across the highway.
I mean, in Australia, yeah, if you're on tarmac, you can just fucking scream. You can just go, man. It's insane. You get onto the outback roads with the corrugations, man. You'll be lucky if you're doing 25k an hour, because otherwise you'll just shake your vehicle apart.
The European mind cannot comprehend the shit we put on the road.
I mean, fucking hell.
Where's the picture? What?
Yeah, a regular thing here in the United States is 53-foot trailers.
Well,
Yeah, but you guys are weird, man. I mean, like, I watch a bunch of American truckies, and they just they don't do any fucking work. They just sit in the driver's seat, right? They back up to a dock, someone else unloads or loads, and then they fuck off. You know, drivers over
That's
here.
due to a lot of regulations.
Yeah, some of that's
So, like,
union
That's
bullshit.
due to
But
Yeah,
you'll only
union.
put, like, in your 53-foot trailers, you know, you could have a load of like 4 pallets going. You know, the driver's charging like $2,000 for to go like, I don't know, 100 miles. It's fucking retarded. It's so inefficient.
the real retarded thing around here is the pay per mile system that truckers get.
Yep, I'm aware of it. That's part of Truck Simulator, which is also stupid.
Did you get the Texas DLC? That was the only reason I was gonna buy it, so I could drive around Texas.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I've got everything available.
That's
Okay,
hardcore.
so what is this paper mile shit?
Uh-oh.
What?
Metro
Were you
asked
asking?
about pay per mile in the U.S.
Okay, so I'm fairly familiar with this. Semi truck drivers, and it also goes into what's called like hot shotters, which are people who toast. They use pickups to tow stuff like new camper trailers and stuff to dealerships, but they're paid by mile driven. So, and like, God, last I heard, this is information that's about a year and a half or so old. The average going rate is like 85 cents a mile. And
I mean,
it
depends.
truckers hate it when they get to a destination and there's a backlog of loading or unloading, because they're just sitting in their trucks. They're not moving. They're not earning money, but that's still eating into their time limit for sitting in the driver's seat of their truck for the day.
Oh, there was one thing I wanted to bring up, and I don't mean to derail the truck discussion, but the fuckery with Teslas. Apparently, some woman in Flagstaff just got the living shit beat out of her because she was driving down the road in the wrong kind of car.
Oh yeah, the 60-something-year-old lady, supposedly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
fucking
somebody-
retarded too.
I saw somebody trying to make it like stupid political by saying, I think in the videos she says, "Oh, I didn't buy this car," right? So they were focusing on that small fraction of the sentence when she actually said, "I didn't buy this car to make a political statement." And they were like, "Oh, see, she stole the car," and it was like, what the fuck?
And if you think someone stole a car, it's justification for you to block her in and go to the driver's side and beat the living shit out of another driver because you think she stole the car.
I'm
mean-
literally at the level of I wish a motherfucker would try. I'm not even kidding. I literally am at that level. Please. Because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a Kyle moment to calm their shit down about these cars.
Oh,
about hurting people with cars.
Yep.
I mean, the thing that pisses me off the most, right, is the fucking the entitlement of it, right? The sheer arrogance of it. Like that big what was it? The lot that got set on fire was a fucking repair yard. So that means that those Teslas didn't belong to the Tesla yard, right? They were people's personal fucking property.
Yep.
How cunty is that to go, well, I'm going to fuck up Trump by fucking someone else's shit?
Well, the other
Trump doesn't
thing
give a shit.
is,
he's already got his fucking money. He doesn't care.
well, yeah, that's the other thing is, well, that's what their reply is always over here. Well, that's what insurance is for.
Yeah, well, that's what insurance is for, you know, wherever insurance is available. But that's not the fucking point. It's the sheer unmitigated arrogance of the action that is so infuriating.
Yeah, no, that what CDAT was saying is that that's the leftist logic that's always used whenever stuff like this happens. We saw it during the Rittenhouse riots,
Floyd riots,
whatever you want to call them. Every single time there's been a riot, the excuse is, oh, they have insurance, they'll be fine.
Yeah, but I mean, look, that's just the left all over, right? I remember watching a news article. It was like BBC or something. There was a North Sea oil protest. I fucking hate oil protesters, but there was a North Sea oil protest where a main arterial road was blocked off by these silly cunts that fucking glued themselves to the tarmac. And a dude was trying to get his mother to a hospital, and his mother ended up dying. So the leader or the fucking coordinator of this protest was brought on for a live interview. The anchor asked her about it. You know, how do you feel about this situation, knowing that your protest caused the death of this woman? But, you know, North Sea Oil does this, and this. But what about the woman? Yeah, but North Sea Oil. But what about the woman? Yeah, but North Sea Oil. Right? No accountability. They don't take any fucking accountability. They don't take any fucking responsibility for their actions. It's so fucking
Well, that's what
infuriating.
I'm saying. It's not going to calm down until they go to pull somebody like me or Wheezy, or I really would love to see this Badger.
Oh, Badger.
And
Badger would go to fucking war in a railway crossing or something.
oh yeah, well, I'm not gonna talk about what sort of toys I have in my car for fun times like that. But they're gonna pull the wrong person out of a car, and then it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt. And then they're gonna want to scream about, oh my God, how could they be like this? Why are they so violent?
I mean, what they're forgetting, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is you don't need weapons when you're sitting in 1.5 tons of fucking steel.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yep.
And if I think I'm in danger, I'm going to drive over your head 67 times, and when I'm good and well and done, and safe, that's when I'm going to drive away. Not before.
Based.
Well, I'm drinking bourbon.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Also
that's-
based.
My face is a little bit stingy, so I know that I'm slightly fucked up. So
When your face goes numb, that's
Well,
when you know you're really hitting
Yeah.
peak.
mhm.
So I live in I live in a rural area, very rural area. The entire county I live in is like something like 8,500 people. Um, and the largest urban center, quote unquote, is 1,800 people. So you can imagine the kind of toys that people have around here. A couple years back, there was a protest um, about the about the Roe v. Wade decision, and these leftists that had come into town were going right up to people's cars at the one stoplight in town and shoving their signs and shit in people's windows. That stopped real quick, and you can probably imagine why.
Oh yeah.
Somebody asked him very nicely but very pointedly to fuck the hell off. I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah. There was things pointed. So
It was fingers. It was fingers, YouTube.
yeah, and you know, and also during the Summer of Love, BLM tried their shit around here. I wasn't here for it, but my mom and sister were, and the sheriff blocked a bus of these people from coming into town. And all the deputies were on horseback, and they said, "Look, you get past us, we can't be responsible for what happens to you."
Well, that sounds about right.
And that's the attitude around here is, if they would have come in here, they would have gotten shot. I mean, in a town that's about 90 minutes away from me, larger town, uh, uh, they actually did get in there and start protesting. A rancher lassoed one and drug him out of town.
So I'm sorry.
And I'm like, I heard about that, and I'm like, oh shit, well, he was being nice.
So in the channel chat, those 3 items are always within quick reach of my car at any time.
I can't show it. I'll get banned.
No, you cannot show it. But
I mean, why am I not surprised by the K-bar?
It's a great thing to have.
Yeah. I gotta get me one of those knives.
I mean, I just remember. I'm just so glad I remembered the name and I didn't butcher it. But I also think the United States is such a big country with so many free real estate and so many tight-knit communities. It's really easy to just leave something out to the wild animals and let nature take its course.
Well, that's what we keep trying to warn people down here in Florida. It's like, if you come down here and fuck around, half our state is swamp, full of animals that will.
Yep.
Well, in Central and South Florida, you are not the pinnacle of. You're not the apex predator. You're not the apex predator there.
So you're saying no one will find the body?
I mean,
no.
I mean, outside of the big cities on the coasts, so from DC to Boston and down south in LA, San Francisco, and California, basically, outside of the cities, you can do basically whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I've noticed that these protests are always very carefully, and the damage is always very carefully planned, I guess you could say. That they're not...
Bricks, the piles of bricks that just showed up like an hour before the protest happens.
Yeah, they don't do it in a fuck around and find out kind of place. Because they'll fuck around and find out.
I mean, That's what the USA money was for.
Oh god. I like that.
Well,
Why am I
speaking-
not surprised about a K-bar? I'm gonna laugh about that one for a while.
But listen, you're an ex-soldier. That K-bar is part of your an extension of your arm, basically, right?
It really is. Yeah.
So it would be negligent of you to not have it with you at any given time.
The tomahawk is just it was cool and I wanted one. So,
And also, it's a mid-range.
it is. It's also very good throwable. It's a good balance for that. And the Glock is, well, you know.
It's a Glock.
Yeah, it's a 40, so I know a lot of people bag on that caliber, but I like it. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, one of these days they're gonna reach in and grab a badger. Not the animal, but the person. I want to be. Well, actually, it might be safer if they grab they grab the animal. Let's be honest. Badger, if you're listening, you know we love you, bro. Get well soon, man.
I mean, listen. I want to see it from afar.
Oh, no,
not
no.
up close.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't worry about his control.
No, I'm not worrying about it. I just want to see it out of effective range.
You're gonna need binos for him.
I'm good with that.
Because that's what's we get these people and they talk so tough online. It's like, oh, you guys think because you were in the military, you're so good at fighting. And so, well, it's kind of what we did for a living. You know, him even more than me. But
I mean,
they think it's a game. They really think it's a game.
Well, because they are good at COD. But also there is a saying that beware of the old man in the profession where men die young.
Yeah, I mean, well, the NAFO, which Wheezy, I saw you. They've come back out in force, of course.
Yeah, fucking. I don't wanna. That'll get me in trouble. If I.
They never. You notice they never volunteer.
No.
It's so amazing. They never volunteer. Anyway.
Yeah, every time I see anybody with NAFO in their name come up, it's always some fucking dog shit take. And it's like, I genuinely don't.
Thing.
Yeah, but I just don't understand how people. It's just them that appear to be like fucking bloodthirsty and wanting more and more fucking, people blowing up videos. And like you said, they're the first ones to say, oh yeah, we're going to go to war. Everybody's going to war. Blah, 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 blah. But, they're not volunteering.
Well, okay, but see what they've been doing lately, I don't know if you've noticed, is they're saying, oh, okay, Gopnik. Okay, Russia supporter. Hey, I'm asking you, why aren't you going to fight? Oh, quit trying to change the subject. I'm not. It's just, if I had your level of conviction, I would volunteer to go. So why aren't you? Okay, Gopnik. Okay, Russia lover. I'm like,
yeah.
What?
I think you can posit a strong correlation between these people and the very same people who were out in force protesting refugees welcome and whatnot, but when they went up to them to ask about accommodating said refugees, they always found some excuse, like, oh, I'm renting, oh, my flat is too small, oh, I don't want to, oh, I didn't understand the question. In an English-speaking country,
did you
using English?
Metro, did you pay much attention when they sent the refugees to Martha's Vineyards?
Oh yes, I've seen that. I was cheering.
I wasn't sure how much you knew about Martha's Vineyards or the kind of people that live there. So
I know that the Obamas have a weekend getaway house there.
Yeah, that should give you a good idea then. And how they were applauding when the bus full of them pulled away.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's my personal dislike on X is the naftards. because again, they're war porn addicts. It's exactly what Weezy was saying. They post basically, videos of people getting taken out by drones and stuff, and they cheer it on, and it's like,
Well, yeah, because that kind of reality has become the new fucking blood sport, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
boxing, wrestling, none of it has the same appeal anymore. You smack a dude over with a metal chair and he bleeds a little bit. You post a video online of a dude fucking drop kicking an explosive drone and having his leg blown off and blood splatter all over the camera. Yeah, that's cool, man. But these people have no fucking idea. They have no idea what it's like to sit in a cold, wet fucking hole, terrified out of your fucking brain because you can't see half the distance in front of you. You can't see if anyone's crawling up on you. You can't. Yeah, they have no fucking clue, man. None.
And when you try to explain it to them, it doesn't register. It's cognitive dissonance turned up to 11.
If you remember the beginning of this year, there was a video going around the internet where one Ukrainian soldier was trying to clear alone a building because he got separated, and he came up on a Russian. And they were engaged in pretty brutal close quarters, and the Ukrainian got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that video wasn't shared that widely, because it showed the brutal reality that what this war is, and what the drone videos dehumanize to an extent that make it a blood sport. And
yeah, well, that's
that's
exactly
why I understand why the Ukrainians are sharing the drone videos, because they have to have that morale boost, that propaganda boost that those bring. But that's why I dislike all of the NAFO who are cheering this on and sharing it over and over again and effectively masturbating over it, because it became the new live leak or gore bomb or whatever the fuck that was before, without any understanding or any real engagement. And they are effectively a net NAFO-tards are effectively a net negative in this communications warfare, and they are too stupid to understand that they are actively hindering the Ukrainian war effort.
Oh yeah.
Who's one of the ones that was been, is it Kinzinger that has been saying that? Yeah. Okay. There you go. That explains.
He was one of the earliest, and they used to try to hold up his military record, and I'm like, dude, he flew a gas station over Kosovo. I mean, he flew a refueling plane over Kosovo, and as we all know, the Kosovo military, the militaries there had the ability to engage at 40,000 feet. I mean, we all knew that, And
well, hey man, look, don't you dare fucking crap all over Croatian, Kosovo, whatever the fuck air defenses, right? I mean, they're the only ones that have ever shot down a fucking stealth plane.
Huh?
But I noticed that Kinzinger has been distancing himself from that crowd.
He's been fairly quiet lately.
Yeah, he's been distancing himself from that shitstorm, because I think even he finally realized that that it's just a bunch of basement-dwelling war porn weirdos.
Redditors.
That are, but you repeat yourself. That the easiest way to trigger them is to post the link to the Ukrainian Legion. And then when they go, why are you changing the subject? I'm like, hey, look, the Ukrainian government maintains that website, not me. I didn't make that website. Obviously, they want you absolutely brilliant commanders to sign up. I mean, they can't fight the war without you. But like I said, we've been seeing more and more of the British and now the Swedish and other European countries going, that's right, America, we don't need you. Okay. We don't need you. Okay. Awesome. As I don't think it was Octavius. It was somebody else I was chatting with that's in Australia that I'm like, we might want to start looking west more because there's some shit going on in the Pacific that we desperately need to pay attention to. There is some.
Trust me. I mean, I have no idea who that was that you were talking to. It might very well have been me, but fuck me, man. I mean, there's some shit going down over here that's insane, right? I mean, and Americans are some of the worst fucking propagandists for it, especially people the likes of fucking Musk, right? Musk and his anti fucking navy, anti fucking aircraft carrier, rampage that he went on not too long ago, anti-fighter plane fucking rampage.
That was so weird. That was so fucking weird.
Let me ask you this one simple fucking question, right? If aircraft carriers are so fucking obsolete, why does China keep fucking building them? Why does every country on the planet with the ability to build one? Why is that the case if they are so fucking obsolete? If drones are the next big fucking thing, why are we not seeing actual fucking controlled drone swarms just wipe out the Ukraine? It literally just wiped them out instead of ones and twos and the random fucking dollar store ones we're seeing right now. If they really were that big of a fucking deal, why haven't we seen them yet?
Well, and of course I was not an aircraft carrier, but as somebody that has since the 1980s heard the thing you did is obsolete and won't be in the next generation of equipment. And then, of course, it always is. Why are they still building tanks? Why are they still modifying them? Because drones right now are the thing that they still haven't come up with a solid defense against. But they will. Same with...
That's not true either. That's not true either because there is decent defenses against them. I mean, DEWs are absolutely decent defense against drones. So is a fucking shotgun.
Well, I'm saying something that could be
on
a vehicle. Something that could be on a vehicle that is quickly employed and is ammo efficient enough to be used in a battlefield situation.
Yep.
Yep.
Those are in development. I mean, even the Americans are using them now.
Of course. And that's the key. It all sounds, it's easy to say, well, blank is obsolete and will never be seen again.
Well, see, the thing is, right, the thing with the drones, particularly in Ukraine, because Ukraine is where all of this drone business has basically fucking come out of.
Sure. What
you've got to understand is that these aren't proper fucking militaries going against each other. These aren't proper fucking, they're not, I've got nothing against Ukraine, right? But these aren't proper fucking modern militaries going at each other. These are two incredibly poor, incredibly desperate fucking nations that are scrabbling for anything they can fight with.
Oh yeah.
Moscow was sunk not by a fucking ship, but by missiles and a drone because that's all that Ukraine had. And oh my god, missiles and drones! Look at them, aren't they cool? They're not cool.
If you look back when airplanes were introduced in World War I, everybody thought that was going to be the thing that was going to make everything else obsolete. Machine guns, same thing. Tanks. When tanks came out, everything. Land warfare is now obsolete.
Again, the United States, right? The leaders of this charge. We don't need an army. We don't need a navy. We have nuclear bombs and bombers. Let's put all of our money into the fucking Air Force. We don't need the other two services.
The worst part is, do you know the president that did that first in the U.S.? Eisenhower.
What?
Who should have known better. He should have known better. Dwight Eisenhower should have fucking known that for all the gadgets in the world, it does not matter until a tired, scared, hungry, dirty private steps on a piece of land and says, "This is mine. You can't have it anymore."
That is exactly right. That is exactly right. The only way to win a war, which is why you guys got absolutely fucking slaughtered in Vietnam, is to put boots on the ground and fucking keep them there.
Yeah, you have to hold the ground. And you have to be willing to do what it takes to hold ground. In World War II, we did what was necessary.
Yes, well, bear in mind that we all did that. We were all there.
Oh, the Australians, I've read some stories.
In Korea also.
Yeah,
in Korea
I've read some stories about what the Australians were willing to do, and I'm like,
ooh, just bear in mind, of course,
keep those stories quiet, kids.
that I'm a Kiwi, not an Australian.
I apologize. I'm terrible with accents, so my apologies.
I mean, I know that we sound very similar.
To our ears, you do, yeah.
Hey,
at least they call you Brit.
I was gonna say, I get Australians mixed up with British people all the time.
You know, I used to be able to tell them apart, but as I've gotten older, I can't tell the accents apart as much as I used to be able to.
So
But
old lady
it's
hearing,
okay.
is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting old, you know.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of cross mingling. You know, the accents mingle. I mean, unless you want to get into the Midlands or the North or start getting a Scouser accent. I mean, those are absolutely easy to fucking pick.
I just asked you to say the word backpack.
Okay, backpack.
Big pick.
Honestly, I think the real reason is I watch so many like YouTubers that it all sorts of blends together over time, and I just don't really think about it.
If you're Australian, you're major kill.
Dude, fight words right there. Yeah, they are. Even I know that.
I wouldn't fucking wipe my sweaty, hairy fucking ass crack with that piece of clown. Fucking hell. Dude's a retard.
I heard he's doing okay selling his steroid supplements.
Oh my God, did he get dragged on that?
and don't forget the OnlyFans calendars.
Oh, that too.
Oh God, really?
You know how many hours in the week that guy spends in the gym?
All of them.
And he's telling people that if you take these pills, you'll look like me. I mean, what the fuck?
I don't want to look like him.
I'm happy with
I don't want to sound like him, and he sounds like a bitch.
Dude's alright looking. I mean, you know,
does he look like a bitch?
It's just the whole.
He's just too. I get a vibe. It's not a good vibe.
We just what Octavia said.
Strap on the ball gag, right, to keep his mouth shut. But
I was gonna say we're gonna just let what Octavia said just slide right past us.
I'm just saying.
Your type, he's definitely not mine.
That's why I made that video back off of, what is it? Gains for the Dark Gods?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so fucking scummy. Like, you know, right? Of course, nerddom, fandom, whatever you want to call it, has its outliers. And there's so many different types of people in there. But it wouldn't be wrong to say that an overwhelming majority are socially awkward or, you know... I mean, all you have to do is go to any sort of...
That's why they play nerd games.
Any sort of fucking convention that has to do with, like, board games and shit, and anime conventions, you name it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the modus operandi was, okay, I'm going to target my audience specifically because I know that these people, you know, might fit a certain archetype, and I'm going to make money off of them, telling them what they want to hear. And it's like, bro, that's so fucking scummy.
It really is.
Yeah, he's kind of like a male e-thought. It's just,
E-whore?
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a male e-whore. Yeah.
E-whore, okay.
So Lily Phillips light.
I mean... Yeah.
Dude, you know what? I don't want to get into this topic because I just saw some story about some young woman had to have surgery because...
I don't want to know.
I saw that too.
She blew out her
O-ring.
Yeah, her O-ring was blown out. Let's put it at that. She had a 50 guy train run on her that way.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
I was going to say, I'm not going to say it.
What is fucking wrong with people? Honestly,
Fame.
Clout.
Even that kind of fame.
it's just so dumb.
Clout's a
Let's
hell of a
picture
drug.
Barzak.
I mean, listen, it was a blonde girl, so you can discount the dumb because that's basic
Well,
modus operandi.
It could have been worse. At least I don't think there was any canines involved.
Yeah.
Just
God
wait
damn
for
it.
the next turn because Mr. Hands is coming.
No white girl summer there.
Jesus Christ.
Ew.
It will
I
be
knew-
wide for a minute. It will be wide for a little bit.
Oh my
I knew that
god.
would get Marzana because every time we play Dark Tide and she gets jumped by the hound, I just start yelling white girl summer
Every single time.
every single time. When I say every single time, I mean every single time.
Well, when you play as your female character and you get jumped, I've
Yeah,
back
you
at you.
do pay me back, yeah. Oh god.
Well, in the meantime, I just posted something in the private chat for, or not the private chat, on the chat for, well, an effective deterrent against drone warfare, but
Well, that's literally what I think they're going to do. They're going to come up with some way to have a Sea Whiz, like a 223 Sea Whiz on the top of like an armored vehicle. That's just going to be a drone defense vehicle.
it will be a Toyota.
It won't be.
You can bet your left ball on that it will be the Toyota.
No, the U.S. Army won't make a technical. They'll have to build some vehicle that costs $22 million each.
Well, no, because they're already doing it. They're already doing it with I don't know if your strikers have got them, but like the whatever the fuck the new thing is that the Brits have got. I don't think it's the Boxer, but it's something similar. That they've got them. I think the new Leopards have got them as well, right? They're little fucking DEWs. That's their whole purpose, like 50 kilowatt DEWs, and all their purpose is to fucking shoot out at missiles and drones, knock them out of the fucking sky, right? And that's perfect, right? Because as long as you've got power, you don't need ammo because you've got power.
Well, and that's the one thing at least I can say on the M1A2, it generates electricity to spare. I mean, it's got a 1,500
turbine.
It's got the turbine engine cranking.
Yeah, I mean that's the primary reason for the Helios system on that fucking Burke that you've got running at the minute. That's what that's for. Is to knock shit out of the sky.
So yeah,
because
it's cheap
to run.
To sit and say that well, this is obsolete. That's like you said. Why is everybody scrambling to build an aircraft carrier? Why are the Brits built? Why do they have an aircraft carrier that literally we have to escort? because they don't have enough ships.
Because it's
80 years ago, America said to Europe, "Hey, don't worry, bro. We've got you. We'll look after you while you rebuild." And then they never told them to start building again.
One of my favorite things to when I'm on X to get people wound up when they're talking about we don't need America's defense, and I'm like, well, no, you shouldn't. I mean, you've had 80 years. 80 years to get your shit together, folks.
That's my point, right? That's my point. And I'm not saying this is a meme. I'm not saying this to be a cunt. I'm saying this is basic fucking fact. For 80 years, America wanted the world to need them defensively because their entire economy is based off building guns.
Yeah. Oh, we are one of the world's top
needed people to
sellers,
buy
yeah.
their shit. So they made sure that everybody else's shit atrophied. I mean, you look at in the UK, in France, in Germany, they had some of the best fucking weapons manufacturers, R&D, all of it. They have some of the best in the world. Had some of the best in the world until NATO, and they just atrophied.
Woo!
Now they're scrambling to rebuild again.
You know what NATO stands for, right?
Well, I know what it actually stands for, but what would you like it to stand for?
NATO
Not
problem.
not able to organize. Which
Okay.
is actually pretty close to the truth.
Well, I mean, if the Americans hadn't put the kibosh on fucking France's idea of having an actual NATO military, like a sole unit NATO fucking military, which they came up with in the 50s, then, things might have been completely different. But that's not what America wanted. America wanted everybody to need them so that we had no choice but to buy their shit.
Well, and also that seems like every time somebody in Europe sneezed, somebody wanted to start a war over it. So,
Yeah, well, that was the purpose of NATO to begin with, was to stop that bollocks.
Yeah. So,
and
you're not
also,
wrong. You're
and also
absolutely
we,
not wrong.
and also the purpose of the EU, because if you are interconnected through trade, it's harder to justify blowing up your neighbor to effectively spare, or I don't know, to spare some expense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all I know is I'm terrified of the Canadian trade war coming up.
Yeah, a couple days.
Yeah. I'm scared shitless of that.
I'm crying
And what do
myself
you
to
not
sleep.
buy? Canadian lumber or Canadian whiskey? Or Canadian bacon?
What am I going to do about maple syrup?
Oh no!
Crown Royal. What about that? I got a stockpile.
There was some guy or girl that had their entire account was about their elbows out or up or whatever campaign, and was going, well, we're in the top 10 producers of potash, which is used in fertilizer and other things. And I said, yeah, so well, what are you going to do? I said, if you're in the top 10, that means there's 9 others. We'll just buy from them. Yeah, you don't understand economics. You don't understand trade. Dumbass. Potash is an ingredient used in, I think, fertilizer and some other products. It's
potash is basically just a fertilizer unto itself.
Yeah. It could be.
You add it to dirt to, what is that? To, I think, magnesium or something. To put magnesium.
Yeah, I think
into
so.
it.
Yeah,
it's something like that. I don't know. I haven't watched Millennial Farmer in a while.
But the whole point being is there's 9 other countries that produce almost as much as Canada. We'll just buy from them. So it's like, I was like, guys, I said, all we asked you to do was cut down on the fentanyl coming across the border, stop allowing illegals to cross the border, and knock your tariffs off. That's all we asked you to do. But you couldn't do that. You had to be dicks about it. So now we're going to be dicks about it.
Well, it's kind of weird.
This is a very good idea, because that would mean that you can buy Ukrainian fertilizer, and with that revenue coming in,
I'm pretty sure Trump started all that crap. That's a bit rough to be upset with Canada about it.
Well, again, all we asked for was a reciprocal thing, which we shouldn't have.
You had one. You had a deal. Mexico, the US, and Canada had a decent deal, which I believe Trump actually fucking started. And now he's pissing all over it. He's just whipped his fucking wang out, and he's pissing all over it.
Because
just like he's pissing all over 80 years of hard-won, bloodied friendship.
But during Biden, Canada imposed 220% tariffs on dairy products, 80% tariffs on wood, 40% tariffs on oil, heavy crude oil. In other words, they disobeyed, they reneged on the deal and said, look, we want to make more tax money on this, and you're the rich Americans, so we're going to charge you more. And all Trump asked them to do was to roll back the tariffs. Because we weren't tariffing them on roughly, I believe 3% of our economy depends on Canada, but something like 35% of their economy depends on the US. It's not a trade war they can win.
If I'm totally honest, I think it's great news that the US wants to cut ties with Canada. I think it's awesome news.
Hey, it's not going to happen. That idiot up in Ontario, his tough talking bullshit won't last very long, I don't think.
Well, I mean, looking at it from a purely self-centered point of view, if the US was to cut ties with Canada, which I'm happy with, then that might push Canada over the edge into a Kanzak deal, which would absolutely fucking sort us out, us and Australia.
I mean, and if that's what happens, great, good for you guys. Again, it's kind of like the whole we'll go form our own military. Okay, cool. No, we'll do it. Okay. I mean, it's if it helps you guys, great. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of blustering and a lot of flexing, and then it's just going to quietly be hammered out in the back room somewhere. And maybe that they could also help you guys out. I mean, why not? Maybe we could come up with, I was going to say something like the EU, but I don't think we want anything quite that retarded. So.
Well, I mean, the idea is the Anglosphere, right? But I mean, to be fair, the Anglosphere wants nothing to do with America, especially at the moment. And the main reason why, right, is because America is too big. So America would, like, if we were to do the Anglosphere, which is Canada, Australia, us, the UK, and America would just overshadow us all. You might as well not have it to begin with. We'd basically just be Trump's fucking childish wet dream of having his empire, because that's what he's looking for. That's what he wants.
So, sorry to interrupt, or interject, but you are looking for effectively the first circle of Churchill's idea of 3 circles without the British.
No, we want the British. We want Kanzak, Canada, Australia,
okay.
New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. That's what I want.
Okay. And in the second circle, the US
so many...
and.
Sorry, I'll finish up and then you can
go ahead.
Regale us. There's so many good things to come out of it, right? We all have the same head of state. We all have the similar laws. We all have similar tax laws. We all have similar trade laws. We all have similar religions. We have similar societies. Now, I know that the UK's in the toilet because of increased fucking retarded illegal immigration, but we can sort that out. That's not that big of a deal. But we share everything we do is incredibly similar. And if the 4 of us were to join forces as like I mean, basically, like, do you know how it works between New Zealand and Australia? Do you know about the Trans-Tasman deal?
I'll be honest, I don't. That's
okay. Basically, it's I think you could probably look at it the same as the US and Canada, right? I mean, the Trans-Tasman deal is basically, we don't touch each other, trade wise, right? No tariffs, nothing. It doesn't cost us to move goods and services from shore to shore. Our citizens can just fucking walk straight in and go to work, right? We don't need visas or anything. I mean, obviously we need a passport, we need to have a clean criminal record, and we need to not be completely fucking mental. But those are the only 2 restrictions, right? That's the Trans-Tasman deal, right? A New Zealander is entitled to everything in Australia, and Australian is entitled to everything in New Zealand. That's the deal. So basically, what Kanzak International, which is run out of Canada, what they want is to extend that deal to the UK and Canada. And it does make sense. It just makes absolute fucking sense. Freedom of movement, pure trade, no fucking taxing each other on tariffs. It makes pure fucking sense. I want them to move it forward. I want to move it into military procurement, joint spending as well. But at the moment, it is legit just freedom of movement and no tariffs. Now I'm done.
Yeah, I think if the tariff thing.
So it basically.
I'm sorry.
So it basically works how here in the United States, how trade and travel works here in the United States.
Like
between states, you mean?
State to state, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yes, it works exactly that way.
Yeah, because of the Commerce Clause in our Constitution.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. We all share very, very similar constitutions as well. Every single one of them is almost exactly the same.
And like I said, I think at least in this case, when because Trump did come in on a platform of reducing taxes, reducing costs. Had there been a little more discussion, a little more leniency on the tariffs, like, hey, I'll tell you what, why don't we roll the tariffs back? Let's see what happens. But instead, both sides got all bowed up and said, screw you, we're not going to do it. And then we also asked, hey guys, could you please patrol your border a little better? We're seeing a lot of problems coming across the northern border. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're not going to restrict the free travel of immigrants. But we're finding like known criminals coming across your border, guys. And you got to understand, before 9/11, you could show a cheeseburger at the border of Canada and they'd let you in. Literally, you would just drive across. There was almost no restrictions. I think Pug's probably one of the only ones old enough to really remember that. But
yeah, like I've never been to Canada. I've been within like 8 miles of Canada, but I've known a bunch of people who've driven across, and like at the border crossings between Washington and British Columbia, they just wanted you to show a driver's license to prove that you were legally allowed to drive.
Yeah, that's all they really cared about, and 9/11 changed that, obviously, but I think if both sides would just calm down a little bit and go, okay, look, again, let's roll the tariffs back. Because, again, dairy products, 220%. I don't think it helped when Canada threatened to turn the power off to, 1.5 million people. That was a pretty dick move.
Yeah.
In the winter, in the Northeast. That was a dick move, and I don't care who you are. So that was trying to flex a little too hard, and it's like, okay, that's going to cause a problem, and that's going to get everybody's fucking back up. So,
I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that Trudeau was trying to hold out as long as possible, right? And then you had the conservatives over there trying to gain power. And then I think a lot of that was all from the Canadian government sort of maneuvering, political maneuvering, because now you see all this nationalist sentiment coming out of Canada that's anti-American, and they're on the side of the Liberal Party. Like, the fucking support for the Conservatives just tanked once all this tariff shit started coming up.
So, I guess if everybody quit trying to make an extra dime on trade, we could probably all settle a lot of this, but...
Yeah.
But think about the Halliburton and the shareholders' value.
And then you've got Alberta in Canada that's like, hey, we'll join you guys. And it's like, that's stirring a whole nother shitstorm in Canada. Because Western Canada, it pays apparently absolutely insane tax levels, and most of it goes back east. They don't necessarily see the benefits of that tax level they pay. So
you mean the Quebecois French?
I know that.
French.
Oh, I know that story.
Fuck all.
They feel that they're paying for people to sit on their ass in Ontario and Toronto, collecting benefits, while they're out there busting their ass at probably one of the most lucrative businesses in Canada, which is their oil industry.
I was gonna say we actually have an office in Ontario at my company.
So
I pray to God.
Yeah, they're gonna transfer your ass to Canada.
Yeah, I pray to God I never have to go up there.
So there's a lot of moving parts in this shitstorm.
So in 2 weeks we can count on Weezy making a visit there and then taking a permanent residence in Canada.
Hell no, it's too damn cold.
No, he's gonna move to Quebec. I could just picture him trying to speak French.
Oui.
I'm a Gorlame.
Gorlame.
Quebecois.
But yeah,
what was the other word he kept trying to say in Italian? It was Gorlami. Buongiorno. He said it with the Texas twang. But
Actually, I believe his accent was Tennessee.
I know, but I think he still tries because I think he is actually a Texas boy, isn't he?
Brad Pitt?
Originally, yeah, I
I don't
thought
know.
so. I could be wrong about that.
He might be. But yeah, I love international politics.
Oh, Shawnee, Oklahoma. Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Oh, close enough. I mean,
But,
Oklahomans are basically Texans with more drugs.
Ooh.
Texas more drugs. I like that.
So yeah, I just and I get it. Trump has ruffled a lot of feathers, and I think a lot of people definitely counted on Biden winning. In fact, they would literally were their entire system was set up on Biden winning. So
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I think that would have been a fucking worse. You know, as much as I dislike Trump, as much as I dislike what Trump is doing to the world, as much as I dislike the fact that he can't take one step without pulling Putin's dick out of his ass. Yeah, he was the better option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is a fucking horrible, sad indictment of your political system in the US.
No. You also have to look at the world political system because they didn't want him in there either, and you have to ask yourself why.
Yeah, but the world can't stop that from happening. The world can't.
Well, I do wonder about that, but anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. But you have to ask yourself why they didn't want Trump, why they wanted Biden, why the EU was so dead set, and why the EU is going and their representatives are going country to country in Europe, calling anybody that's to the right of Chairman Mao a Nazi and a fascist.
I mean, that's. I don't know if that's.
To be fair to them, Orban is very close to being a Nazi and a fascist.
I know, but I'm talking about Meloni in Italy. I'm talking about what's her name in Germany, the lesbian, the lesbian fascist. AFD. I couldn't remember the part.
Yeah,
Well,
Alice Weidel.
Yeah, I don't think the fascists were real big on relationships like that. So
You don't know.
Dude, no. Look, this is pretty hard and fast staple, right? Lesbianism is not a thing. It's never been a problem. Nobody ever cares about two chicks getting it on, because at the end of the day, they can still procreate.
Right, but I'm talking about
it's only ever gay dudes that have been the problem, right? Because every sperm is sacred.
But the point being is that they're calling this woman who all she wants to do is make Germany again, and yes, I completely understand the joke behind that. But that she's a fascist because she would simply like to close the borders for a little while and get shit sorted out because they're being overrun, and that makes her a bad person.
The problem with the AFD is not that what they're saying, because the mainstream parties are saying that, started to say that as well since the beginning of the year. The problem is the funding. Just like with Le Pen.
Well, where did the other parties' funding come from?
Unfortunately, the other parties are funded by the state. This party is funded from outside sources and not from and not from the pains of the members mostly, but from Eastern sources. Just like with Le Pen. The sources are always 2 to 3 steps removed from China, from Russia, but they are always behind.
So in their mind, it's okay as long as the state's paying for it. As long as the state's paying for the state-approved party to run the state the way the state wants the party to be run. Not by the citizens, but by the party. in the state. Okay.
No, because these parties, and this is party funding in Europe, these parties are effectively getting an allowance from the budget of the state that is corresponding with their share of the vote.
So
Unfortunately,
as long as they're doing what the state tells them to do, they'll continue to get money.
no, as
And-
long as they are getting votes, they are going to get money.
I don't
Not
know.
what-
It sounds to me like they're less concerned about what the people of their country want and need, and it's more what the state wants and needs. That's just me.
You can look at it most certainly
Nightmares, Ed.
that way. Yeah, take care.
Sorry, yeah, I gotta step out. I'll see you guys later.
Later.
See you later.
Okay, bye.
But the funding of these parties are coming from their share of the vote from the last election. And the problem with Le Pen, the problem with all these alternative parties that pop up and challenge the narrative, in parentheses, is always that when they look at the funding, it's always coming from one direction.
That sounds about right. I mean,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
just
Yes,
like
the messages resonate.
yeah, it's just like
there
here.
is-
Even though we
there-
have a two-party system, it's still
because there is a kernel of truth in everything. But how to put it? The last time, 2 or 3 years ago, when Marine Le Pen was fucked over by the French courts, was because the Hungarian state gave her a loan that was coming from a Russian-controlled state bank that moved its seat to Hungary, to Budapest specifically.
But what I'm trying to say is, when you have the major parties being supported by the state, that their presence is controlled and authorized by the state court system, that the entire state government is more or less creating its own political parties and forcing out through the state's legal power anybody that challenges it. That's a totalitarian system, and I don't care how you spin it. That is the state perpetuating its own governmental system no matter what. Which is why countries like England and to some extent Germany and others are in such horrible condition as far as their immigration. I mean, you have England with a two-tiered legal system now. Literally being white will guarantee you a worse sentence. And it's because the state perpetuates the system. You know what I mean? It's not the people. The people's vote doesn't even necessarily count anymore, especially not in a first across the line voting system. So,
But European voting system is not first across the line.
some European voting systems.
The major democracies of Europe are not first across the line. Hungary is first across the line. That's 33% plus one, and also majority. How to put it? Not a list vote, but a direct representative vote.
For the party.
No, for the representative.
Right, but who selects who leads the government?
The party.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that's Hungary.
But isn't that also the UK?
Wait, what are you asking? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying
what I'm
to.
talking about is when you have the government perpetuating the party system, paying for the party system, guaranteeing certain parties are paid for and they control what becomes a party, and in some cases even use the state court system to bar and ban parties. That's a totalitarian system, no matter how you
doing
say it. Well,
That's not how it works in the UK.
no, but it sounds like that's how it's working in Germany.
I mean, Germany's a bit fucked up, though, to be fair.
Well, that's what we're saying, though. Is no, the UK. It seems like even worse. It's first across the line, plus no direct representation except for electing the
Well, hang
parliament.
on. What do you mean no direct representation?
Do they vote for the prime minister? No.
No.
No, but
No, they vote for their
party.
they vote for their representative.
They vote for the party.
Yeah, so they vote exactly the same way as we vote. So the way that we do it, we have a member of parliament for our electorate. So the electorate that you live in, right, has a member of parliament. So we vote for...
The point I'm trying to make...
Hang on, let me finish.
I understand how it works. My point is it is a system that can easily be... No, I didn't. I said nothing that led to that. I'm saying you are not voting for the prime minister. You're not voting for your ultimate leader. You're voting for a party.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, are you telling me that if the state wants to support a particular system or a particular party, they don't have the ability to block anybody else that threatens that?
I don't understand what you mean.
Outlawing parties.
We don't outlaw parties. I don't.
No,
see
some
where
of
you're
them.
coming from there.
Some European countries don't. Some do. They literally use the court system to keep people out of positions and parties out of the running. They did it. I believe they did it in France. They tried it in Germany.
Can you give me a specific example?
I just did. I said they did it in France and they tried in Germany.
No. I'm saying, can you give me a specific example of
Marine
a
Le Pen.
party that was
Marine Le Pen and her party.
So what was the party based around? What was the go with it? What was their goals?
It was basically considered a right-wing party, which they cannot stand the thought of. It talked about France for French. It talked about controlling immigration. It talked about deporting people that did not belong in the country. Didn't it not?
Okay. Well,
I think we need to, when we are talking about the Le Pen family and the Front
see, this
National.
is what this always turns into it's a personal attack instead of talking about the party's policy. You can't talk about the party's policy. Now it has to become the Le Pen family.
But that's what I want to tell you.
No, but that's how it always has to be.
You can't differentiate the personal pasture of the Le Pen family. That is the Front National.
Cool. Now do Canada.
Because every time the Front National got fucked was because campaign finance violations.
And who decides the campaign finance laws? The state.
Because
Jesus Christ, man! You're gonna fight for a totalitarian system no matter what. You are gonna defend to the death the very system that will fuck you over, man.
Well, how is that different to what happens in the US, though? I mean,
to be fair, we do that here.
More likely you're going to.
Yes, I know there are some people, but at least we get
exactly the same thing.
At least we get to vote for the leader that runs the country. Okay, that's the, you keep ignoring that.
I mean,
yes,
do you though?
Yes, the man we just elected won the popular.
Dude,
he just won the popular fucking vote. He won the goddamn.
You didn't vote for him to lead the party, though, did you?
No, I don't give a shit about the party. That's the point. It doesn't become everything being a party system.
I see what they're saying, though, because it's still the same here. See that? We have a two-party system. We get a choice between Republican or Democrat. And as we've said, we pick the lesser evil.
You don't get the opportunity to decide who leads that party. At least with us, when we have a multiple party system, whether some are outlawed,
yes, we do.
At least with us, with a multiple party system, we can decide.
Dude, so you're telling me
gets in power.
So you're telling me that nobody decides who runs the party in the United States?
I mean, our elected
money
officials
runs the fucking party in the United States, brother.
It's
not the fucking public.
Yes, it is.
No,
Jesus
it's
Christ!
No, it's not.
Oh God! No, you're talking about the Democrats. The Democrats appoint.
Oh, cut it out! No, cut it out. Who paid for Trump to be president? Fucking Elon Musk did.
Oh, okay.
Elon Musk.
Now we're in the conspiracy. I'll see y'all later. This is conspiracy level bullshit, and I'm not going to be part of it. You know what? Go suck Biden dick.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in sucking Biden.
Yeah,
I don't like Biden
I'm of the
either.
same. I'm of the same fucking opinion. I'm out.
Oh, I'm still here.
Wow.
And this
Sorry,
is why
man. I didn't mean for that to fucking happen. They're just full of shit. They are literally just full of shit. They're blinded by the crap.
As an American, I get both points of view, right? Because I'm one of those people that wishes we had more choice in our elections, right? And for us, it boils down to Democrat and Republican, right? And any sort of smaller...
Every time you come on, you're shitting on religion. You're shitting on American politics. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're right. Everybody else is wrong. And nobody likes that kind of asshole.
There he goes. Okay.
I think he was talking to me.
So, I think your average American would be happy with more choice, right? And for us, it boils down to Republican and Democrat every single time. And of course, you have Green Party, you have all these other, independents that show up. And the fact of the matter is that none of those people are going to make any headway because they don't have the amount of funding that the Democrat and Republican parties have, which I kind of get what you're saying when you say it's kind of the illusion of having a choice, right? But
if you don't mind me interjecting for a moment, I mean, literally everything that guy was saying about what was going on in France is what goes on, or what went on during the last election in the US. It's very, very similar, right?
Well, you could say that about the last 10 elections in the US.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, right. And I'm not trying to be a dick here. All I was trying to do was call out the hypocrisy of it. So when I call it out, I'm an asshole, and I'm shitting all over America. But when he says it, it's perfectly fine to shit on everybody else's country. Do you see the hypocrisy of what I'm trying to say there?
Well, I think a lot of this was getting lost in the dick measuring of countries. In my case, I'm a little bit more objective when it comes to politics because I'm not poll brained, as some people like to say, like on Twitter, right? Where
you know what now?
What they call poll brained. People like Destiny, people like Hassan, people like political brained, right? Where everything is from a political standpoint and not from a standpoint of what should be or shouldn't be, right? And I'm in the opposite camp, right? I also understand what they're saying, but I also understand what y'all are saying. I have always hated the fact that even though we have a choice, right? We do get to elect our officials both at the state level and at the government level. Even people that we would want to be elected usually get shut down because they don't have the backing of whoever or whatever to get them there. We saw that here in Texas with Brandon Herrera and Tony Gonzalez. And Tony Gonzalez was actually being backed by AIPAC. And Brandon Herrera's campaign was all grassroots, right? People that know him and wanted him to be elected. But without that backing, without that funding, without that support from some sort of major entity, these people would not be where they are here in the U.S. That's an objective fact. And that's
which is all I was trying to fucking put across.
No, I get that. I understand that. And when we look at European politics, or if we look at Canadian politics, I see the same thing happening over there too, right? And it's all part of this same bubble of, the people that are in power are going to stay in power, and anybody coming in from the outside is probably not going to get a shot unless something drastic happens. In our case, and as CDAT was saying that Trump won the popular vote, it was because your average American was sick and tired of how the Democrats were doing things. And then we're going to do this bounce and back and forth like we've done for God knows how long.
100%, man. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I just got to go and pick up my lunch.
Sure. Bouncing back and
Howdy,
forth
boys.
between, we get mad at the Democrats, so we vote Republican. We get mad at the Republicans, so we vote Democrat. And it's that tit for tat that's gone on forever.
I know me. I've always voted who I felt was the best choice in the scenario.
Yeah.
So, and most of the time, oddly enough, Republican. I was going to vote for somebody years ago, but kind of got screwed out of getting to vote. So I was like, well, that's a little weird.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying, is that even if there could be the most centrist fucking candidate ever, right?
Oh, yeah.
That has, good points from both sides of the aisle. And I guarantee that motherfucker would not get elected simply because they're not the GOP, they're not the DNC.
Yeah, it's one of the sad truths about the American political system is that, centrists have brilliant ideas. Centralists just can't execute them because GOP or the DNC or whatever, they all outnumber them. So you're not going to have any other source other than what we've had for the last,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. All we do is bounce back and forth based on public sentiment with the choices that we have. And that's just how it is.
Yeah, I agree. I concur with that.
And it's also why it's why I was so kind of tuned into what was happening in Canada, is because the sentiment over there, as soon as Trump was starting to talk about tariffs and taxing and everything else, right? Then the Liberals Party saw that and went, oh, well, now we have something to fight back against, in which case it's Trump. And then what did the Conservative Party have a choice to do? It's like, well, they can't look weak to the Canadian people by, capitulating to Trump. So then they had to go on the offensive of, Canada first, fuck the US. And it's bad. It's a bad move in my eyes, right? I voted for Trump. I don't agree with some of the shit he's been doing, but it's not the move that I would have made.
Well, my response to this, to the whole thing, yes, there are certain things that Trump has done that I can't condone, but in the grander scheme of things, we, the American people, when we would get imports, the tariffs that were put on us, all the expenses and stuff to import things, were absolutely ridiculous. And finally, somebody said, okay, for as long as you guys keep these tariffs coming, we will make sure to double that whenever we export stuff to you. So, and I'm like, okay, I can see that.
No, you're right. Those numbers that keep floating around showing the percentages on some of the goods that Canada gives to us with the tariffs on there, the 200%, the 300%, those are real numbers. And
oh yeah, I know.
Of course, the Canadian answer to that is, oh, well, we need to protect Canadian assets, right? And I agree with what you're saying. It's like, well, hold on. You're allowed to do it, but we're not allowed to do it. And I get that viewpoint as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Well, I'm not an anybody. I'm just a simple dude that I was born in the mountains, fam. So I've watched people most of my life struggling, especially what happened after NAFTA all those years ago. I watched people struggle, and I watched how hard it was for my family and many others to make ends meet. And now, where the cost of living has increased so much, it is absolutely ridiculous. The whole reason we have this thing called the cost of living is because you have to spend to live. If you raise the prices up and you put all these tariffs on the American people, they're not going to get to live because they're having to spend all this time getting a second to third job.
Yep.
When back in the day, back in the day, my grandfather bought 20 acres of land and a house and was able to pay it all off. And now a person can't even buy 1.5 acres with a single wide trailer on it and be able to afford it without sacrificing just being able to have a decent meal. What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And especially when you have these big, hedge funds buying up land, buying up property, jacking up prices to the point where people can't even fucking pay the prices. It sucks. It sucks. I've mentioned it before that whenever I first started my current job, the average income that you needed to buy a house was something like 80. Yeah, it was like 80 grand, and now it's like 110 in my area, on average. So it's, to say that shit hasn't gotten worse when it comes to cost of living, that's just a fact.
Oh yeah, price gouging, inflation, and all that, and people trying to take. But again, that's why I say, yes, there are some things that I look at with our president, and I'm just like, okay, bold move. It might be in the wrong direction. I will give you points for having balls, but I don't know how to feel about this one, fam. You might want to reel this one back in just a little bit. But most of the things that he's been doing, I approve of, because we're having billions of dollars being shot out everywhere to other things that aren't helping the American people. It's not helping our brothers and sisters, whether they are civilian or military. It doesn't help any of them. It doesn't help the American people that are in other countries either. All it's doing is giving fuel to the fires of hatred. And nobody can tell me different. I've read all this crap, and I'm like, good God.
Yeah, because they start to resent it, right? You're like, oh, well, you've got money for this, but you don't have money for this, right? And it's the same thing that we saw whenever we had the influx of illegal border crossings, and they were putting these people up in hotels and giving them free food, giving them an allowance and all that. And it's like, well, you got homeless people sitting right out front of that same hotel that are, Americans.
And you motherfuckers, it's like, hold up, y'all motherfuckers actively trying to pull this shit? Really? Come on now. Like, hell, dude, and so many people that, I've seen some liberals who were like, oh, I love Robin Williams. I was like, did you know he was an advocate for homeless people, especially homeless veterans? Think about that, kids. Why would you give it to people that are coming illegally through the borders and then be like, oh, take it?
Yeah, no.
Take all you want. It's okay, just take it. No, you have homeless people who... Sorry, go ahead.
No. That's why I was talking about the whole two-party system, is that there's... the biggest eye-opener to me of the fact that these people are all the same, regardless of the label, these elected officials, is when they were floating the idea of giving taxpayers back their money, some sort of stipend of any money that they may have saved. And it was, what, like $5,000 a person, I think they were floating. And it was
like that.
Yeah, it was Democrats and Republicans that were going, no, you can't give people their money back. Hold on. Nope, we can't do that. And especially the Republicans. The Republicans were screeching about it. Like, no, you can't give taxpayers their money back.
Yeah, I just found that so hysterical. I'm like, it's money that was taxed from us, and we could actually use it. What?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Republican, and bitch, I don't understand that one. It's like, yeah, I would like to have money back that I put in with all the years of back-breaking work that I have done. It would be nice to have a little extra, especially when the going gets tough. It's like, I would like to have my money back to help me pay the bills and recycle the money through the economy. It would be a little bit better than me just being like, well, I'm broke, but the government has all my money.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've said that a lot, right? I mean, it happens over here all the time. Every time the National Party, which is basically the same as your what do you call it, Republican Party, every time they campaign on tax cuts, right? So they say, tax cuts for the people. But the way it works out is your average everyday run-of-the-mill civilian, right, yourself, gets maybe $5 a week, whereas their hyper-rich fucking buddies have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in their tax cut. It should be the other way around, right? Because if you give an extra $20 to a wealthy person, it just goes in the bank and it does nothing but gain interest for them. You give $20 to a fucking poor person, they immediately spend it on groceries, on the power bill, on clothes for their kids, right? It goes straight back into the economy and starts working again.
Yeah, but even Democrats are that way, though. They look at it as, well, we don't want them to have their money back. We don't think that they need it, even though the homeless rates have even gotten worse. They might start to level out and actually may decline at some point. But right now, the whole thing about the intricacies of all of this, it just brings up to the boiling point of we need to let the American people have what they worked for, what their fathers worked for, and their fathers' fathers worked for. And then for you to deny them, but you allow illegals to take, is one of the reasons why I'm not such a fan of how the Biden administration was. It's why I'm like, hey, yeah, well, let's go. Come on, get them out of here. Because if they are not part of the solution, they are definitely part of the problem.
Yeah,
look, I agree with you, man. I mean, I'm not arguing against you at all. I mean, I was a proponent of, like, yeah, if they want to come across the border, fine, make them sign on the dotted line and charge them fucking tax for whatever job that they do, if they do a job, right? If they're useless, then get rid of them, but charge them fucking tax.
Oh yeah, no, agreed. If you're going to come to my country, if you're going to come to any country, I would expect this if I was to say move to England or if I wanted to move to Japan. I, honest to God, expect them to have me pay taxes in some form or fashion. I expect it if I'm going to become a citizen there.
Mm-hmm.
Because as an American, I understand the value of taxes. The increase of taxes is bullshit, but I do agree with the concept of it. So why would I be lax on somebody that comes here, doesn't try to get in legally? If you come in here legally, you say, hey, I want to be an American citizen. You work your ass off. You pay your taxes, you are my brother or sister. I don't give a flying shit. You are one of us. Welcome to the American dream. But when you don't do that, you expect the American people to hand you shit and you not give yourself to being part of the American dream. That is where I start going, hey, my redneck's about to kick out. I really don't want that. Plus, also being from Detroit doesn't really fucking help that. So, it's a fun time for everybody.
Yeah. Metro, you're being suspiciously quiet.
They are eating the popcorn to enjoy the film that we are making.
Yeah, it's concerning.
Metro. Sugar plum. Sugar tip. What you doing? Wake up.
He may have passed out.
He may have done. He did say he was drinking, right?
Yeah.
Well, depending on where Metro's from, it will depend on how much liquor that person can handle.
Isn't he like Romanian or Hungarian or something?
Metro's Hungarian.
I mean, I can imagine the dude.
Oh yeah, no. he might have knocked a couple bottles back. Oh, beer? No, vodka.
No, Metro doesn't do vodka. He was
No,
drinking.
didn't you say he was drinking bourbon?
Yeah, he was drinking bourbon.
Oh shit. Oh, getting fancy. It's like, give me a fucking bottle of Mr. Boston vodka. I'm happy.
Well,
It's the cheapest vodka.
I was trying to let him chime in before I kill it because I have to go walk the dogs, but I guess he fell asleep.
Oh, okay. No, he went to take a piss. He's just messaged.
Oh, okay.
Well, then I'll wait for him to take a piss, and then I'll let him give his thoughts. Yeah, no, I completely agree, dude. Like, I feel like we've broken things so hard here at this point that it's going to take a while to get back to
Honestly, dude, you're in the same position, and it's actually America will feel it more than a lot of other nations, right? Because of where you came from. But you're in the same position that a lot of us are in, right? Globalization or a globalized economy has just absolutely slaughtered countries, right? You look at you look at where you were in, say, I don't know, 1940, 1941, right? Where, when war kicked in, you were able to make 1,000,000 boats, put 1,000,000 men on the ground, make 1,000,000 planes. You can't even fill your F-35 orders right now. For one plane, you can't even fill the orders that across the world. That's a sad indictment of where your industrial base has gone, and it's all due to globalization. Who runs the globe? China. They have the logistics. They have all the cheap shit that we are forced to buy because nobody else knows how to make anything anymore. Globalization has slaughtered this fucking planet, man. And the only ones that are benefiting is China.
Well, I will say this. The only thing I will agree with some things from your statement. I will agree with that. But the way I look at it is because the American people, not these radicals from the right or left, but the American people themselves, and I say this as a man who has had many relatives serve, whether it be military or just hard workers. I believe that the American people, when they finally get their heads away from everything, like just step back away from phones and stuff and just work, like actually remember what we used to be. Like, I got family that still are steel workers. I got family who do construction, and we build all the time. So if we can get back to those foundations, not, yes, let everybody enjoy themselves, have fun when you're not working. But if you can work, make the United States what it used to be, where people actually was like, hey, these guys are pretty cool. I like them. Instead of, we should be worried because they're starting to become a meme themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yep. No, I agree too.
I mean,
and not just for America, right? For everybody. Everybody has.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Like the UK, Australia, Germany, like so many countries. If we just stopped and we're like, hey, we can help each other out and get our own people back to how we used to be, like get our work industries back in order, we could make it and be what we used to be in the terms of education, building environments, and just trying to advance actual science and technology for the betterment of mankind. If they would just stop with the bullshit.
Yep.
But but that would require looking away from the stock exchanges and the quarterly reports, because that requires investment and not short term that by the next quarter makes a profit, but long term.
I mean, fair enough. But all I'm saying is, if people was to look away from that, if people were to just say, you know what, we can do
Yes,
this
I mean,
better than us.
I completely agree with you because what can I say? How can I say it? Because that's how the West was won. Not by short-term investment, not by margin calls, but by long-term investment in your fellow human beings.
Yep.
Yeah. If you invest into people, you can never go wrong.
And this is what we lost sight of. I mean, just look at Germany. Not even the Germans are buying German cars because the German cars are shit.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, your German cars are too British now, right? British cars they always look sexy, but they weren't good.
Yes, but the British cars, the Jaguars, the MGs, they were sexy.
Yeah, they were. They were
Nothing-
really
nothing
sexy,
like-
but they were shit cars.
Yes, but they were the cars that you took out on the weekends from the garage, and you had a can of oil to feed to the machine that lost on the weekend.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it lost a liter of oil just coming out from the fucking garage, right? Just crossing the threshold, it lost a liter.
But it was a joy to drive and an orgasm to look at.
Yep, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But
sadly,
I mean,
I have to go. So you all have a wonderful evening or day, and we'll hopefully be able to hop in next time.
All good, mate.
But I mean, I know that this is a joke. This is in some aspect a joke and some aspect an anecdote. But one guy on the internet was talking about how he worked for Japanese engineering companies and German engineering companies, and how the Japanese products have such a longevity is because the Japanese engineers look at the thing they are designing and then ask themselves, how is the customer going to use it and abuse it, and design with that mindset in that parameter, that working condition in mind. And the Germans are looking at it that this is the exact specific condition that this item can be used. If the user uses it outside of these specific parameters, the guarantee is void and the user can fuck himself. And they are designing the product that way. So the product is shit. Because if you're buying something that has a use, you are going to use it, and sometimes you are going to use it outside of ideal conditions. But the Germans are engineering at the moment for ideal conditions. And that's why the German cars are shit.
Germans have always engineered for specific conditions. That's why their tanks didn't work properly.
Yes, but beating them in the tank game for 30 to 40 years, made them realize that you need to engineer for a wide variety of reasons, for a wide user base and for wide uses, and they forget that because they haven't started the World War and haven't been beaten yet.
All right, I gotta take the dogs out, and I wish geopolitical discussion wasn't always a fucking shitstorm, but I think everything's
yeah, sorry
a fucking.
about that, mate.
I think everything's
always fucking is.
I was gonna say everything's a fucking shitstorm right now, so it's not exactly unexpected. You know what I mean? But we'll see. you know, things will get better. I'm an optimist.
I think you're probably the only one.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to be, right?
True, true. Very true.
All right, Metro, go to bed.
Yeah, I took my sleeping pills.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe we should keep going until those kick in.
Oh, they already kicked in.
Oh, yeah. Nope. I'm done.
Why do you think
All
I
right.
was that quiet in the last 20 to 25 minutes?
I figured you were sleeping or passed out or blacked out or something. All right, everybody.